Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I am super excited to be trying out products from Danessa Myricks' brand. Myricks' brand, yes, that's correct. I know I start out a lot of my videos by saying that I'm like super excited, but I am legitimately like stoked on trying these just because I have been looking at her product line for a really long time and I finally decided, I was like, it's time. Let's get in there and let's try all of these different products that I have from her. I brought a couple of different colors or shades of her Infinite Chrome Micropencil. I have her Power Bronzer and then a Lightwork Volume 1 highlighter palette. So we're going to do our first impressions today, and then I'm going to be wearing these products for the rest of the week, and I'll let you know my final thoughts at the end. Let's go ahead and get started. My face looks kind of huge today because I don't have any bronzer or anything yet on. So let's start with some of the complexion stuff and then we'll move into trying out these different eyeliners. So I have the Power Bronzer. This is a matte bronzing and shaping cream in the shade Medium. This is supposed to be a long-wearing, blendable, buildable cream bronzing base with a matte finish. It naturally sculpts, shapes, and defines by softly shading the contours of your face. And you can actually use your finger, sponge, or brush to use this product. So here is packaging, and here it is. Hopefully that shows up on my skin. I'm a little bit nervous that it might be a little bit too close to my skin tone, but we will see how it goes. Very, very creamy, very, very soft. And here is our first swatch. I think that'll be okay. Yeah, I think it should be okay. It's a little bit closer to like that Universal Chanel shade that I used a couple of videos ago. That was a little bit too light for me, but this one seems to pack a bit more of a punch. It's not so much of a bronzing balm, like it actually is like a cream bronzer. So let's get to applying this. I'm actually going to be using my Janice Dowd Master Foundation brush. This is technically a foundation brush, but I really, really like how small it is for really placing that pigmentation onto your skin really, really precisely. One of these days I will be better at my nose contour. I'm gonna go ahead and take a foundation brush or concealer brush that I had used earlier today to apply my makeup, and let's go ahead and see how this blends out. So here we are with it blended out. I would say that I think just because the shade is a little bit close to my skin tone, you can definitely see it. It actually looks like it blended out really, really nicely. It's not patchy at all. I can definitely see a little bit more of it right here. I am gonna put on a second layer of it just to see if I can amp it up a little bit, but so far I really, really like the texture. This is definitely one of the nicer cream bronzers that I've used. There are no issues with patchiness or anything like that so far, so I can see. So I'm just going to touch up a little bit more and build that pigmentation so you can really see it. I will admit also, I tend to go heavier on bronzer just because when you're like a pumpkin face like me, like you really need help with like the contouring and the shaping. So I tend to heavily bronze to kind of help give myself that like impression that I have like, oh, like sculpted cheekbones, which I don't really. I'm gonna go ahead and put on a quick blush application and then we're gonna try the highlighting palette. Here is the Face and Body Highlight Palette. It comes with 6 different shades. Ooh. It's very, very heavy. I like the packaging. It's like substantial. And here we are. Wow. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all 6 of these on my hand so that we can see kind of what we are playing with here. Whoa, my goodness. They are soft.
Oh my god.
They're soft highlights. Really, really soft. Ooh, I can't wait to put them on my face. I feel like this is gonna blend in so, so nicely. The darker colors make me a little bit nervous in this palette just because when I was looking at the website, it looked like the swatches that they had on the website, the Sephora website, made it look like I could use all 6 shades. Looking at this, No Prob looks a little bit dark for me, but we're gonna swatch it and see what happens. So here we are. So we have Like Duh, Common Sense, Piece of Cake, Smooth Sailing, and then awkwardly here we have No Prob and Easy Breezy. Besides No Prob, everything else I think is definitely a highlight that I am going to be able to use. There's a variation of undertones, a variation of shift. I want to use Smooth Sailing, which is this really pretty champagne highlight. Let's go ahead and see how that one applies. Take another LaBrousse brush here. So Smooth Sailing is this shade right here. To the touch, this is so insanely smooth and just silky. Like that's really, really nice. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Little goes a long way. If you are not a huge fan of highlight, I would say use a light touch with this. But for me, I love the immediate impact that this has. This is freaking beautiful. I know, I'm making weird sounds, but
Scrumptious.
Oh, scrumptious. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just take that down my nose lightly. You know what I also really like about this? This feels like a powder highlight where if you put it on a foundation or a cream blush or a liquid blush, it doesn't feel like it's a highlight that will catch on those and not be able to blend into your skin super, super smoothly. It honestly feels like one of those formulas that can just go on top of anything that you have and it's not going to catch or make things look like they are textured or anything like that. I really, really like how everything feels. I like the immediate impact. It's really, really pretty. I'm super stoked on this. I can't wait to wear this all week long. So these are her Infinite Chrome Micro Pencils. And so it's multi-chrome, high intensity, smudge proof, and waterproof. And I have this in 4 different shades. I am going to swatch all of them for you so you can see what they look like. Let me just talk really quick about the packaging. This is the coolest packaging of an eyeliner I have ever seen. Do you see how like it's literally multi-chrome? Like I think it's so cool and it matches completely with the theme of these eyeliners, and I have swatched them all and they look really, really beautiful. So I'm hoping you can see this on camera. As I turn my hand, and I'm trying to get into the focal point here, as I turn my hand, can you see the color shift? So from top to bottom, we have, this is going to be difficult for me to do. So this is Rose Quartz, Jade, Opal, and Amethyst. These are so freaking cool. I can't even get enough of it. I am going to go ahead and use as many of these as I can for my eye look today. We're going to try and get as creative as possible with this. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm super stoked on this. Okay, we are back. I attempted a graphic liner today, and what I have discovered is that I need to work on my graphic liner skills because they are like... Anyway, I do really like how my eyeliner looks though. I think these are so cool. They're so much fun to play with. I will say as an eyeliner, and I think this has to do with just the fact that they are a different formula because of that multi-chrome iridescence to it, is that there was quite a bit of tugging as I was definitely applying these. Now, I do think that it would have been easier if I could kind of, you know, use this finger, like use one hand to be able to hold my eye and have my skin really taut, but instead I don't have like a mirror in front of me, so I was holding a mirror in order to apply this eyeliner. So I do think that that is something that could definitely change the game for me a little bit, and it might actually be easier to do the wings just because that way, like, I don't know, there's just a lot going on when you have to hold a mirror, and when you're trying to apply makeup, it's like a totally different ball game. It's not a ball game, makeup game, whatever. Let me go ahead and tell you what we have right now on our eyes, and we're gonna try and get as close as possible. Please ignore the fact that nothing is symmetrical on my face when we're this up close. Okay, so in the inner corner here, I have Opal, and then on the bottom lash line, I have Rose Quartz, and then I have Amethyst as my lower like liner here, and then Jade as that kind of top liner on top. Was that repetitive? Yes. Anyway, I really liked this look that I created. Would I like to get better with my graphic liner skills? Obviously, yes. I think we can actually scoot back now. So from a formula perspective, I think these are really cool. They're very different than anything else that is on the market. Honestly, if you just look at these swatches, like, oh, it's so freaking cool. I really like all of them. The only one that I struggled the most with in terms of application was Jade. I placed it where my eye is obviously not like, the skin on your eyelid is not going to be super firm or anything like that. So this one I definitely struggled the most with in trying to get that color to lay down smoothly. For first impressions so far of Danessa Myricks' cosmetics or what I purchased from her brand, I really like everything. This highlight is out of control. I think it's so pretty. I haven't even set my makeup down and it just looks so, like, it's super glowy. It's definitely out there. It's definitely one of those more prominent highlighters, but the thing is, it looks like it's part of my skin versus like sitting on top of my skin, which is really nice. And again, I haven't even set my makeup down. So from a first impressions perspective, I think we're going to be giving quite a bit of my paycheck to Danessa Myricks as I try a bunch of her stuff, because she also just came out with a foundation, which I was like, I wish I had picked that up for today's try on. So that concludes the first part of this video. I'm super obsessed. I really like everything that I have tried so far. We will be back at the end of the week to tell you my final thoughts, but so far, pretty stinking good. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean end of the week. I don't know. Hey everyone, welcome back. It is now a Friday and time for me to give you my final thoughts on the Danessa Myricks' products that I've used this week. I keep saying Danessa Myricks' products. Let's go ahead and get started. So we'll talk about her Power Bronzer first. I would like to pick this up in a deeper shade. I actually do have this on right now, but I did layer a powder bronzer over it, simply just because it's just a little bit too pale for me. You can kind of see how it doesn't give you too much of a like a dimension cut or anything like that, but for a bronzer to just warm up your skin really nicely, it does work really well. For me though, I prefer my bronzing cream products to just be a little bit darker, just so that I can use it kind of as a contour as well, not just kind of warming up my skin. But it was really good. I like how it blended out. I really liked the pigmentation of it. Performance is awesome. I feel like it stayed on all day. No complaints there. Let's talk about her eyeliners. So in terms of, you know, are these the creamiest, most long-wearing eyeliners of all time? Actually, no. However, I don't blame the product for not being that way, simply because of the formulation, because it is so special and it does have that multi-chrome finish in it. My favorite way of wearing these eyeliners was actually either doing a liquid liner and then layering this, layering one of the shades on top, or putting it in my waterline and just giving myself a pop of color. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, you absolutely have to get these unless you're a huge fan of Danessa Myricks or you're super into the multi-chrome finishes. Then I think that these eyeliners are super fun to have, or if you really like colorful makeup. This product though, the highlighting palette, I'm obsessed with these highlights. They are so so good. So I have had my makeup on now, like my highlight today. Let's see, I did my makeup at like 7:30 this morning. So it's been on for a good 13 hours at this point, at least. And look at this highlight. Doesn't it still look absolutely incredible? Like it just, anyway, I love the finish of all of these. I love how blinding they are. I love how soft and easy it is to use this. You don't even need to really pick up that much, and then you get this gorgeous highlight that blends into the skin really, really smoothly. I even used No Prob as an eyeshadow this week. I did put it on top of an eyeshadow primer, so it worked really well, but it was just so beautiful and caught the light at a gorgeous angle every single time I turned my face. And so out of all three of these products, I would say I'm probably the most obsessed with her highlighting palette. I'm so glad I got this because I feel like I'm just going to be using this for the rest of time, even though I have 6 million other highlights on my vanity. So that tells you pretty much how much I love this. I can't imagine going without it. I'm actually leaving for a few weeks to go on travel, and I'm not going to bring this with me just because it is quite heavy and I feel like I'm going to miss it while I'm gone. That pretty much sums up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys will check out Danessa Myricks' brand. I think she's really, really special. She definitely has curated a beautiful line here. I personally cannot wait to try out more products. I'm definitely going to be stocking up during the Sephora sale that's coming during the springtime. Be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please feel free to subscribe to our channel and like this video, and I will see you guys next week. I think I just said video really weird, but that's okay. Thanks again for watching. Bye. I know, I heard it.
What?
Really, really quick.
Really, super
pretty.
First.
Really.
Wearing a choker?
Yeah, do you like it?
Since 1998.
Yeah.